No flash, he's just food, man. The dog is eating good.
Nasus has been a staple of normal league matches since he was released 17 years ago in 2009. The big dog on the top lane is one of the cheapest champions that you can unlock when you're a fresh player. So literally every league player has experienced both sides of the Nasus gameplay loop. The unstoppable force of nature that is a fed Nasus with over 1,000 stacks who absolutely obliterates your entire team with 5 bonks. And the completely irrelevant Nasus who got farmed in lane, has almost no stacks, and gets one-tapped by the enemy Caitlyn. This feast or famine playstyle has kept Nasus mostly out of competitive play, but in 2026 he has had a massive resurgence that nobody was prepared for. The dog packed his suitcase and he moved from the top lane to a new home in the jungle. While top lane Nasus has to battle with his lane opponent for stacks, Jungle Nasus gets to stack for free on his camps. This completely negates what was the only downside to this champion, his non-existent early game. Essentially, Nasus loses every top lane matchup before he has Sheens, Boots, and his ultimate. So having the option to opt out of fighting and just PvE for the first 15 minutes of the game was a literal cheat code for players who recognized it. After Griffin debuted the new technique in April at the EWC qualifiers, the global results were astonishing. For the next 2 months, Nasus went on a 13-1 spree in pro play with some of the most wild stat lines that we've ever seen from a jungler. Griffin 10-0 against the North American champions Lion. Dardoch 8-0 in the NACL playoffs. And Skuon 12-0 against K-Corp in the LEC playoff grand finals. While his win rate has stabilized due to a fair amount of losses in minor regions, he's still sitting at 67% in global pro matches, which is just mind-boggling. After all this success, Riot has decided to call animal control. In patch 26.16, Nasus is receiving an adjustment to hopefully send the dog back to his rightful home. The amount of stacks that you receive from killing with Siphoning Strike is increasing from 3 to 4 on lane minions, and is decreasing from 12 to 10 when killing champions, cannon minions, and most importantly, large jungle monsters. Riot has stated that they want to keep Nasus viable in the jungle, but actions speak louder than words. A normal wave, perfectly CS'd with your Q, would get you 30 stacks before this change. Now it's worth 34. Compare that to the heavily nerfed stack numbers from jungle camps, and the choice is clear. Nasus will likely return to his rightful position as a high-risk, high-reward counterpick in the top lane. Is this a good direction for the character though? Across his lifespan, Nasus has only had 3 real stints in pro play. In 2013, Diamond Prox popularized the character as a jungle pick. His ultimate dealt max health percentage damage to nearby targets, and combined with Spirit of the Ancient Golem, he could mount objectives faster than any other jungler. Meteos pulled off an unbelievable 10-0 streak in the LCS with this version of Nasus. 11 years later, in 2024, Nasus rose to brief prominence as a mid-lane counterpick to the AD champions that were dominating the meta. This was a pretty balanced version of Nasus that had some success in specific scenarios, but overall he was held to a 50% win rate. And finally, the current era in 2026, which unfortunately could be coming to an end at the hands of the Riot balance team. My concern is that Riot is fighting a losing battle against the obvious answer here. Nasus gets the spotlight on him and rises to the occasion every time we see him playable in the jungle. When he's limited to the top lane, he almost completely disappears from competitive play and is only seen as a meme that you either run into or get run over by in solo queue. What do you think? Is Jungle Nasus an inevitable truth that Riot is fighting a losing battle against, or should they do everything in their power to lock him back into his rightful position in the top lane? Hey man, all I know is as long as I can roll bonk and mayhem and become a literal raid boss, Riot can do whatever they want on Summoner's Rift. I don't care.